The story of Racheltjie de Beer is one of South Africa's most heart-wrenching and inspiring legends. It has been passed down through generations as a powerful example of courage, selflessness, and love. Rooted in the country's rich history, this tale reflects the struggles and spirit of the Voortrekkers, a group of pioneers who faced immense hardships during their journeys across the South African wilderness. To understand the story of Racheltjie de Beer, we must first appreciate the context in which it is set. In the early 19th century, the Voortrekkers were a group of Dutch-speaking pioneers who ventured into the interior of South Africa in search of new land and opportunities. This movement, known as the Great Trek, was driven by a desire to escape British colonial rule in the Cape Colony and establish an independent way of life. The journey was arduous and filled with challenges. The Voortrekkers had to contend with harsh terrain, unpredictable weather, and the constant threat of conflict with indigenous groups. Despite these hardships, they remained steadfast in their mission, driven by a pioneering spirit and a deep sense of community. It was within this backdrop of struggle and perseverance that the legend of Racheltjie de Beer unfolded. The year was 1843, and the De Beer family was among the Voortrekkers traveling through the vast and unforgiving landscape of the Free State region. The family had set up camp and was preparing to continue their journey when an unexpected and brutal snowstorm swept through the area. Snowstorms in this region, while not common, were known to be deadly, especially for travelers unprepared for such extreme conditions. 12-year-old Racheltjie de Beer and her 6-year-old brother, Dirkie, were caught in the chaos. Separated from the rest of their family during the storm, the siblings found themselves lost and exposed to the bitter cold. Racheltjie, the older of the two, knew that their survival depended on finding shelter quickly. As the temperatures dropped and the snow continued to fall, Racheltjie made a decision that would etch her name into history. In a desperate bid to save her little brother, she searched for a suitable shelter and eventually found a hollowed-out anthill. Anthills, which are common in the South African wilderness, are known for their insulating properties and can provide some protection from the elements. Racheltjie removed her own clothing to bundle up Dirkie, ensuring he stayed warm. She placed him inside the anthill, covering him as best she could, and using her body to block the entrance from the freezing wind and snow. Throughout the long and freezing night, Racheltjie shielded her brother from the cold, sacrificing her own life in the process. By the time rescuers found them the following morning, Dirkie was alive, thanks to his sister's extraordinary act of love and courage. Tragically, Racheltjie had succumbed to hypothermia, her body frozen from the relentless cold. Racheltjie de Beer's story quickly spread among the Voortrekker community, and over time became a powerful symbol of selflessness and sacrifice. The tale of a young girl who gave her life to save her brother resonated deeply with the Afrikaner people, who were familiar with the harsh realities of life on the frontier. Her bravery was celebrated, and her memory was honored in numerous ways, from songs and poems to schools and streets named after her. Racheltjie de Beer's story has left an indelible mark on South African culture, particularly among the Afrikaner community. The legend has been passed down through generations, and her name has become synonymous with heroism and familial devotion. Monuments have been erected in her honor, and her story is taught to children as a lesson in selflessness and the strength of the human spirit. The tale also speaks to the larger narrative of the Voortrekker experience, highlighting the resilience and determination of these pioneers. The Voortrekkers' journey was not just a physical one, but also a test of character and faith, and stories like Racheltjie's encapsulate the values that sustained them through unimaginable hardships. Over the years, the story of Racheltjie de Beer has inspired various artistic interpretations, from literature to film. One of the most notable adaptations is the 2019 film The Story of Racheltjie de Beer, directed by Matthijs Boshoff. The movie aimed to bring the legend to life on the big screen, exploring both the emotional depth of the story and the harshness of the South African wilderness. In addition to the film, Racheltjie's story has been featured in books, plays, and even children's stories, each retelling emphasizing different aspects of her bravery and sacrifice. Artists and writers have drawn on the tale to explore themes of survival, the bond between siblings, and the harsh realities of life in the 19th century. Despite the enduring popularity of Racheltjie de Beer's story, some historians and researchers have questioned its authenticity. Critics argue that there is little concrete evidence to support the events described in the legend, and some have suggested that the tale may be a South African adaptation of a similar American story about Hazel Minor, a young girl who died saving her siblings during a blizzard in North Dakota in 1920. The similarities between the two stories are striking, leading some to speculate that Racheltjie's story may have been influenced or even fabricated based on the American tale. Others argue that the lack of historical documentation does not necessarily disprove the story, as many oral traditions from that era were not officially recorded. Regardless of its origins, the legend of Racheltjie de Beer continues to hold a special place in South African folklore. For many, the story's message of selflessness and the power of love transcends questions of historical accuracy. It remains a testament to the human capacity for courage in the face of overwhelming odds. Beyond the literal events of the story, Racheltjie de Beer has come to symbolize a number of themes and values. Her sacrifice embodies the idea of putting others before oneself, a virtue celebrated across cultures. In the context of the Voortrekker experience, her story also represents the struggle to protect and care for one's family in a hostile and often unforgiving environment. The anthil, which served as a makeshift shelter for Durkee, has its own symbolic resonance. It represents nature's role as both a threat and a protector, highlighting the delicate balance between humanity and the environment. The harshness of the snowstorm serves as a reminder of the unpredictability of life on the frontier and the importance of resilience and resourcefulness. In modern times, the story of Racheltjie de Beer continues to inspire and resonate with people across South Africa. Her legacy has been embraced not only as a part of Afrikaner heritage, but also as a universal story of love and sacrifice. Schools, streets, and public spaces named after Racheltjie ensure that her memory lives on, and her story remains a source of national pride and reflection. Her tale also serves as a touchstone for discussions about the power of storytelling and the role of legends in shaping cultural identity. As South Africa continues to grapple with its complex history, the story of Racheltjie de Beer reminds us of the enduring human values that unite us, even in the face of division and adversity. The story of Racheltjie de Beer is a poignant reminder of the sacrifices made by ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances. Whether or not the events happened exactly as they are told, the legend continues to inspire and move people to this day. It is a tale of love, bravery, and the unbreakable bond between siblings, set against the harsh and beautiful landscape of South Africa. Racheltjie's story, woven into the fabric of South African folklore, will likely be told for generations to come. It serves as a testament to the power of human courage and the enduring legacy of those who put others before themselves, no matter the cost.